لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. We don't believe any of the text is not applicable today. Why do you say that?
Well, it's not that it's not applicable, but I have just a few things that are like, specifically, I was reading in a surah about like adultery and lashings, right?
Mhm.
And specifically, like if that were to be today, that would be frowned upon. Yes? No?
By who?
I guess you're right. Society.
Yeah. Okay. So we don't judge by societal standards. And
Yeah,
I mean
that's
that. By the way, many of these rulings are applied in some countries.
Yes.
I think not all the Islamic rulings. I don't believe there's a single country today that applies Islamic rulings holistically. We have an example in a very small island called, I don't know if you know about it or not.
Mhm.
They made a statement, we're going to apply Islamic law holistically, 100%, which is not happening now in any country, I believe.
Right.
So in Brunei, what happened? You had the West, American, all these governments applying sanctions and threatening them. But oh, wait, we heard that you are the people of democracy, and if a government wants to apply its own laws in its own country, you should have nothing to do with that.
Right.
You're happy seeing people being murdered and slaughtered. You don't say a word. You don't apply sanctions to the countries doing it. In fact, you participate in it yourselves. But when you have a government saying we're going to apply Islamic ruling, then you have them like instantly attacking them. So one of the reasons why you have many countries not fully applying Islamic law is this. You have other countries, let's say, which have more dominant power when it comes to weaponry. And what they do is that they threaten the Muslims. These Muslim countries don't allow them. Oh, look, you got to have democracy. You got to have our democracy, essentially, their democracy. So the question is, when you say, okay, there is lashing, so called this punishment, right? This is an example.
Right.
We have a punishment. That punishment is lashing. It's applied for a specific sin and a crime that an individual does within an Islamic state. So if I'm living in an Islamic state, I know if I commit this specific sin and I go through judge due process within this government and country, this will be applied to me. Now, the question will be, what is wrong with that?
Well, I mean, there's a lot wrong with that. Physical abuse. What?
Okay. That's what do you mean by physical abuse? If we say, for instance, somebody is committing a crime, whatever that crime is, and the police comes and they restrain him with power physically, would we call that physical abuse?
Well, I mean, depends on who you ask.
No. Okay, so on your worldview, then we don't do any type of harm or damage to any human being, no matter what they do.
Sure.
That's the worldview that you're proposing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, then we'll all be slaughtered to death. That's it. Like you have a government today. Look at the Middle East today. You have a government today. Let's just apply this reality, right? You have a government today in the Middle East, and you have a country, and you have Gaza, and you have all what's happening there, and you can see with your own eyes. You have a government indiscriminately unaliving people everywhere. Basically, all countries around them are being attacked. Now, in your worldview, we're not supposed to do anything to these people, right? And now, not only that, you have other governments who have powers, but they still continue to do what they're doing. You have people who try to restrain them, and they're doing. Now, imagine if nobody is restraining them. Imagine if there is nothing at all happening except that this government is the one that does what they want. Do you think me and you would be alive?
No.
Okay, so how does that worldview work then? Allah says in the Quran.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Allah says in the Quran, كُتِبَ عَلَيْكُمُ الْقِتَالُ وَهُوَ كُرْهٌ لَكُمْ. Allah wrote upon you fighting, and you hate it. Nobody likes to go. Who likes to go to war and lose their limbs, and except you some maniacs, right? Nobody wants that. So Allah says that it's been written upon you, it's been obligated upon you to do, but you don't like it. And then Allah says, وَعَسَىٰ أَن تَكْرَهُ شَيْئًا وَهُوَ خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ. You may hate something and it's good for you. And you may like something and it's bad for you, and Allah knows and you do not know. It's very important. Allah says, وَلَوْلَا دَفْعُ اللَّهِ النَّاسَ بَعْضَهُمْ بِبَعْضٍ لَفَسَدَتِ الْأَرْضِ. If Allah did not use people to deter other people from evil, then the entire earth will be corrupted.
Sure.
So it's important that there are punishments that are applied, and these punishments, of course, uses a level of quote unquote violence or whatever term you want to use. It's necessary because it's a deterrent. Not everybody lives in La La Land. Not everybody is Buddha. Is going to be like, oh, I'm going to become Buddha and sit down and meditate. Not everybody's going to do that. That's why every country has police officers, army, weaponry. Why is there no countries on earth that are applying that idea where, oh, do whatever you want? Because they know if we allow people to do whatever they want, there are multiple human-like animals who will just destroy the entire society and kill everybody and take everything. So it's necessary. I see your point. Yeah, so it's necessary. It's just common sense that we may have certain types of punishments and deterrents that preserves people's rights and identities. Now, again, we're going to come back to the idea, because we can just because there is a harm, that doesn't mean it's wrong. This idea that harm equals wrong is something incorrect. There are good harm, there is bad harm. It's all based on justice, and is it justifiable or not justifiable? If it's done for restraining, for preservation of life, okay, someone's coming to, do something to the entire population of a country or has a weapon or whatever, and then you have to apply violence to that person.
Well, sure, but this
deadly force.
But that particular surah isn't really something causing harm indirectly to anyone outside of the marriage, So
no,
I see what you're saying.
Just because I'm giving you an example. Okay, let's say someone goes. This is the thing. We cannot just pick on the example. It's the idea itself.
Absolutely.
If someone goes and steals from the government, is he still punished? Yes. Will he be treated the same as if he stole a bank? Yes. He didn't harm any normal human being. It's paper being printed by the government. But the laws are still being applied. It's not the idea, just the concept of what kind of harm. There are laws that need to be applicable. The question is who determines who needs to be punished and what is right and what is wrong. Where do you get that from?
I mean, God's giving the instruction. I see what you're saying. But
so if you don't take it from God, you're going to take it from humans. Yeah, go ahead. You want to say something?
No. Well, of course I'm on the spot. I could think of a million things before I got on this live that I wanted to ask that regarded the eternal concept. And again, remember, I'm coming from Christianity, and so it's a completely different concept of everything is applicable, and then there's things that just seem very ancient in Islam to me.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You say you're coming from, I didn't get that. You said you're coming
from Christianity. Sorry, I have a bad connection.
No worries. What do you mean by everything is applicable there?
Well, I mean, the same rules apply in the law of Christianity from then to now, and it doesn't change,
That's not true.
So,
I mean, have you read the Bible?
Yes, I have.
Okay, there are worse in the Bible than what we're saying. There is punishment in the Bible, direct punishment, for example, where it's capital punishment for many sins, right?
No, I don't. Yeah, absolutely. Well, the law isn't upheld after Jesus Christ, according to Christianity, is what I'm saying.
No. That's according to some Christians. That's not according to Jesus.
Yeah, you're right. Yes, I understand. I'm with you there. Remember, I'm changing my perspective there. So
I'm trying to show you that essentially Islam is not a unique in this idea where it has certain laws and certain aspects that are being applicable. But what's happening is that people who criticize Islam using for certain things that they wouldn't apply the same consistent criticism to other ideologies. But the question is, what you're not seeing is the foundation of your criticism. You're basing your criticisms based on two ideas that you grew up with in the West, which is the idea of definitely liberalism, but also maybe feminism. Maybe some of your things are also related to feminism. You haven't mentioned anything to do with that. But these are predominant ideologies that are in the West that people, they don't understand that they are influenced by them. They don't understand that they think through them, and they are their lenses, their glasses that they look at life using. Because, for example, the idea of harm comes from liberalism. John Stuart Mill, when they established this harm principle, do what you want as long as you don't harm anyone else, it's what the entire West today is following. You just don't know that it's coming from the liberal Enlightenment period. Now, I don't need to accept John Stuart Mill idea of what is morally right, what is morally wrong, because that idea is not encompassing of everything. There's many things that don't necessarily cause harm, and they can still be wrong. harm is not the only way where you can determine something is right or wrong. And there are types of harm or pain or suffering that are good. And there are types of harm and pain and suffering that is not. If I have a disease or a poison or something in my arm and about to die, and it's going to spread to the rest of my body, they amputate my arm when causing harm and suffering to me, saving my life. When I start having pain in my teeth, toothache, it's warning me there's something is going on wrong with you, or no, go to the doctor.